Hi guys, it's PO2, and basically instead of having a patch rundown, I've decided to try and do a podcast with a few of my close friends, and we're basically going to do a Worlds final. We're going to have a look at the Worlds finals between IG and Fnatic. It's set to be a good one. If you guys want to introduce yourself, you can do.
I'll go. So I'm Oliver. I mainly play down in the bot lane, ADC. Play Zaya quite a lot. Got over 300k mastery points on her. But to be honest, play her there and everywhere really, but mainly down in the bot lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mason?
I'm Lago or Kid Mac, depending on how I'm feeling. So I started off 2 years ago in the mid lane as Lux and Katarina, then moved to jungle. I've played pretty much every role apart from support. Even then, I've played a bit of Karma, but yeah, I've got a bit of experience in every role. I remember the last clash we played, I was top playing Garen.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but in terms of like watching competitive league or esports in that sense, how do you two fare off?
Well, Oliver watched it more than I do. Obviously,
God,
we're going on the Saturday. We're going to watch the final. That's one of the only times I'll probably sit through. In fact, no, I watched the Cloud9 versus IG. Not IG.
Afrika Freaks.
No. Cloud9
Fnatic.
versus Fnatic. Sorry.
Fnatic, right? The semis, yeah.
Yeah. So I watched the semis all the way through.
Mm.
That was really good to watch. I think I completely skipped like the group stages, really.
Yeah, it normally gets interesting after groups, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like groups it's a bit too slow paced for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I mainly watch the semi-finals. Semi-finals are good.
Yeah.
Happy that Cloud9 made it to semis. I was really, really happy for NA.
Cloud9 had a fantastic run this year.
They did, yeah. It's actually a bit of a shame that we're not seeing them in the final, but then again,
Fnatic deserve it a hell of a lot.
Fnatic do deserve it. They played incredibly well in that game, 3-0. Cloud9, and you know, even IG they 3-0'd their semi-final game as well, which is absolutely
G2
incredible. Yeah, exactly. And G2,
I thought G2 were going to pull it as well because I've obviously never heard of IG.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I was going to basically run back to is that if you're a bit more of a casual viewer, maybe you in particular, Ligo, like some of these players, or maybe the off-meta champions, or maybe even just the teams, might actually just be brand new to you. So what's it like being able to see like a new style or a new meta almost from these different regions?
Well, I mean, the team-wise, obviously we watched a lot of Counter-Strike competitive.
Yeah.
So I know G2, Fnatic, Cloud9, they're like
the orgs. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like there's super high CS teams. So it's like I know that they're to a good standard. Never heard of an IG before, things like that. So that's where it's sort of like thrown me off because I just sort of relate to, that's a good CS team, so I'm sure they'll bring that over.
Right.
But I mean, when you look at the metas, it's all the same sort of champion pool. No matter what, there'll be an Arox on one side or another if he's not banned. There'll be an Urgot one side or the other if it's not banned. Same with Victor now as a counter pick.
Right.
I've noticed Lissandra LeBlanc super picked a lot. Kai'Sa is one of the most played ADs at the minute.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of CC heavy champs top lane like Swain, Victor,
right,
Ornn. That's what I'm seeing in top lane. In the mid lane, I'm feeling like it's a bit more damage side, but
there's a lot of carry. There's a lot of carry in
hell
the
mage,
there's more mage carries than assassins than I've ever seen.
Right.
Like there's not been a Zed played by IG or Fnatic. There's not a Zed. Yeah, there's been one Yasuo.
That was probably Caps.
Caps,
Knowing Caps. Knowing Caps. Yeah.
In all fairness, the Caps though, he's brought out the Irelia.
Yes.
Yeah, it brought out the Irelia 5 times.
Yeah. So that's always good to see. You got to love Caps on Irelia.
Rookie's been rocking LeBlanc.
Rookie is just.
He's been amazing.
We'll get into that later, but my word, Rookie.
One champ we did see is Jace, and I want to see that again.
Jace. He was fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. And we're obviously going to see a Lissandra. Lissandra's just.
If LeBlanc gets picked, then we are going to see a Lissandra.
I think Lissandra is going to be picked or banned all the way through this. This next series.
Didn't Jensen play Lissandra in all 3 games for Cloud9?
He did.
Yeah.
That was good to see. Actually, I really liked.
So
that's really the mid lane.
Just to quickly recap on the semis, I didn't quite catch it, Mason, if you watched both semis, or did you just watch one?
I only saw Fnatic versus Cloud9.
Right.
But I did see some highlights from G2 and IG.
Right. Because just to quickly recap, I was actually because of the quarters being so overwhelmingly fun and like just great to watch. I personally was a little bit let down by the semis because it was such a smashing. Really? Yeah, because it was such a smashing.
It was such a smashing.
Yeah,
it was a fucking good one.
Oh, for sure. Like,
it's still a good watch. It didn't put a downer on like the games itself.
Oh no, no, for sure. But I mean, especially with my bias towards Cloud9, it was very hard to watch. I will admit.
Heavy bias.
Yeah. Heavy bias towards
Something that I thought about the semis, quarters, even going back to the group stages, the kill participation from the supports is crazy.
Okay.
It's like touching 70% on both teams.
Yeah, they seem to be everywhere nowadays, don't they?
They are everywhere. They're just like level 3 roam.
Yeah, that's the thing, roaming. Yeah.
Level 3 roam, but like mid lane is never safe.
Right.
Because there's always a support going up there, and it's a Braum, Rakan, Alistair, something with CC.
God, yeah. And you just still get that advantage, isn't it? They want that early advantage. That they can
right. And another good thing.
Snowball on.
Another good thing for them is that because mid lane seems to be having so many solo kills, when they're actually roaming their support up at level 3, as you say, or level 4, or maybe an Alistair with Moby boots, they're just going to fly up from lane and actually help that it's not going to be a solo kill, is it? But yeah, they're going to help their mid laner, which seems to then snowball off and actually win lane.
Is that the equivalent of just getting a gank from your jungler?
I was about to say, the thing I've noticed, both teams, is top lane doesn't get touched by like the jungler, like hardly. If it does, it's like because it's a tower dive or something, and they obviously need the support. But the mid lane gets ganked so heavy.
Yeah. Because they've got the carries, don't they?
Yeah, especially on the Fnatic side from Broxer.
Yes.
Broxer is so prominent in the mid lane with like Xin Zhao, Lee Sin.
Yes.
He's got 72% kill participation.
Yep.
But then on the Invictus side, on Ning, he's got just lower at 67. But he's starting to play people like Camille.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen.
Still a good pick, though.
It is a good pick, but I don't know how it fares against CC majors.
Right.
That's true. It's true.
And things like so obviously the Irelia has been picked by Caps a lot. I don't know how good Camille is going to be against an Irelia with how predictable the Camille's movements are. Do you know what I mean?
Quite true. Yeah. And I mean, they're both very mobile champions, though. That's
what I'm saying.
That's something that I also do want to try and get in, is that actually I've noticed that the amount of mobile champions that have almost been that people have been forced to play. So, for example, when you look at bot lane, right, it's going to be Ezreal, it's going to be Sivir, and the only reason Sivir isn't mobile is, I mean, the only reason Sivir works is that because of an E and an ult, right?
Yeah, especially
right. But like seeing an Ashe, like if we saw an Ashe in the final, it would be super like almost
so risky.
It feels like it would be because
I mean, Ashes is still a hyper carry. Like, it doesn't take away her potential.
For sure. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when you've got a Lee Sin, and then you've got a LeBlanc, and you've got like a Swain, like all of these champions that seem to be flying about, and all
basically
this,
a sitting duck.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So there's certain picks there in the ADC role specifically. I feel like could have been picked if the meta didn't feel so like mobile, in the sense of like a Varus probably would have been picked by now, or more picked is what I should say.
Oh, definitely.
So
I mean, if you've got the right sort of team composition and the right amount of peel from like coming into or out of a fight, for example, and those champions can come into it a bit more. It's like I'm going to bring up Xayah in this case. Like, she's not exactly the most mobile thing. I know she's obviously got a Featherstorm, being I can't say the word, invulnerability. Sorry. But still, once she busts that, she's almost as bad as Ashe in terms of mobility.
I think that's almost why she has to be paired with Rakan.
Yeah, it's the engage, disengage, the protection. That's sort of the stuff that we rely on.
That's why we're seeing so many Rakan bans.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The amount of Xayah picks. I think Rakan's definitely going to get banned by
either team.
Side.
I think actually either team.
Either team. Yeah, they both play Xayah quite a lot. So Reckless's Xayah is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
I'd like to see more of Reckless's Trist.
Yes,
I remember seeing that in the last tourney, and his Trist was insane.
He got like 2 pentakills or something, didn't he? Something crazy.
Crazy on that.
Reckless seems to have a large champion pool, which does bring a lot of solidarity towards Fnatic. Is what it feels like.
He's developed as a player.
For sure.
Much over the
same with Caps. Have you seen like the amount of different champs that Caps can play and win on?
Caps is phenomenal. Insane. All up Vayne mid lane. That's all I'm saying.
He can swap lane to AP like.
There's no tomorrow. Caps is a phenomenal player.
Yes,
but I'd like to see a Rise come out from Caps, maybe.
I think you would see more Rise as a like a counter pick. So or a safer pick if you like.
But Rise is quite flex as well. You can play Rise in the top lane.
Although with that in mind, I'm not sure how many Rise games I've seen Bwipo play in terms of top lane.
That's true. That's true. But if we're going on the spectrum of things, it would be more of a flex pick. But you see Bwipo playing more of the tankier, champions. Like he plays on. I mean, he's playing Victor, and he's played a absolutely fantastic.
I'm gonna say he's played a lot of carries. He's played your Aatrox, he's played your Victor, he's played your Urgot, which is somewhat a carry.
He's not played it this tourney though. He hasn't played Aatrox at all.
No, it's been Caps picked.
It's been Swain, Victor, Ornn, Jace, and Urgot. So the only 2 hyper carries in there are Victor and Jace, and the other 3 are just full tanks.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, Swain's got some good damage.
Yeah, unlike the Shy, who's got stuff like Fiora, Akali, Gangplank, Aatrox.
I can tell you now, the Shy is a scary motherfucker.
He was.
That guy knows how to play League of Legends.
It was crazy. The first time I saw him was obviously when they played G2 in the semis, and oh my god, he surprised me. He really surprised me.
He's incredible.
He's so good.
So, whilst we're on to this, let's start hopping into the specific role matchups. And I think what we'll do is we'll start with top lane, where we have Bwipo for Fnatic with the substitute of Soaz. Versus the Shy for IG with Duke as the substitute. So
I think it's Bwipo the Shy. I can't see Soaz.
I can't see them using their subs for the finals. I can't see that.
Unless things are completely tits up.
Yeah. That's it. But I wouldn't see why anything could go wrong.
No, I'm sure they've been practicing whatever they have been in the past.
It's been about a week, hasn't it? Since
it's been about a week.
Yeah, it's been exactly a week. It was last Saturday.
So whatever they've got up their sleeve, whether they do use a sub or not, either way, I think the top lane matchup's going to be quite an interesting one, because obviously, like we mentioned, the Shy has been playing absolutely phenomenally. And
The-
you know, I'm going to say the same about Bwipo.
His kill kill participation is 60% close
exactly,
to. So
and that just goes to show, you know, top lane is still
it's
an
it's not
important
like he's
lane.
even playing like world ulti champs like Gangplank or anything like that. So he's not getting it from that. Yeah. He's actually leaving his lane for those kills.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah. It does seem that so from my perspective, it seems that the Shy mechanically is maybe one of the best out there right now. The Shy mechanically feels so solid, and even right down to the animation cancels and stuff of his auto attacks and just everything. He's so precise at what he does, and he also feels very hard to kill. Might I add, so. When there was a time when there was 3 people in the top lane attempting to kill the Shy, and it just didn't work because he's just that good, and he's experienced it probably that many a time to actually be able to.
Like a thinker.
Right, he's very intelligent. Right,
yeah, he gets the gist. Like he sees 3 people coming in, he's like, right, I'm going to stick around my turret here.
For sure. And when the meta does seem to be favouring towards solo laners, I think having the shiny team is a very nice accolade to have.
Solidarity, isn't it?
Right.
Do you think you're going to see him pull out another Scion?
Scion. Do you know what? Strangely enough, I believe we might see a Scion mid lane, but I don't think we'll see one top lane.
Mid lane?
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting thing. Who for though? That's the question.
I would say most likely Caps, but I think there'll be a comp around that sort of thing. You know, I think it'll be, you know, I don't want to go too much into this, but I think it'll be, they've been caught out in a game. We have to try something new. And then they'll base everything around bot lane, and then they'll have Scion ult from mid lane to bot lane and that sort of thing, right?
Something crazy.
That's personally what I think will be happening.
If they're looking at the Scion pick, it'll either be a Scion or a Galio for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I get that. Well, Galio's
that's
top
picker.
mid.
Yeah. So we digress.
But going back to top lane. Would you see the Shy or Bwipo bringing out a champion that we've not yet seen them play this world?
Absolutely.
Like, I feel that is a heavy possibility.
They should have something up their sleeve.
Exactly. Save the best till last. You know, it's something that is going to catch them by surprise and be like, oh shit. You know,
I don't think we'll see it first game. I think we'll see it second game.
Potentially. It depends how it goes. You know, like that first game.
I think definitely if they lose the first game, they'll probably do it the second game to throw them off. If they win, they might save it for third.
Just to throw something out there, I think that Fnatic absolutely has to pick or ban Jace against IG, because it seems that Rookie, the mid laner, and the Shy can both play Jace incredibly well. So
scary,
right?
Almost.
Scary well, right? So, and because Jace is so oppressive in that top lane, and it feels like you're never ever even going to be able to catch up in that top lane, I feel like you have to pick or ban that shit. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh god, yeah, definitely.
Like, it feels like you can't give the Shy or Rookie that champion.
Once Jace ahead, go on, mate. Sorry.
So I was going to say the only person who's played it on Fnatic is Bwipo, and he's only played it once. So
yeah,
I don't remember seeing that. Obviously, he probably did well on it, but I don't remember it as a highlight of a game.
Right.
So I feel like they definitely need to ban it and not pick it, because if you, it's like picking an Akali against an Akali main.
Right.
They just know how you're gonna play. Why would
you do it? Right. I'm with you. Yeah.
Sort of counterpicked yourself almost.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, might I add, on the other side, I feel like Bwipo's Victor, which has recently come out, top, has been phenomenal. And no matter how many,
he's got 100% win rate on him.
He's phenomenal on that. Right. Something I've noticed about Bwipo specifically is that he feels so good on mages top. So we're talking about the Swain, we're talking about the Victor, and maybe even possibly a Lissandra. Maybe, I'm not sure, but he feels so solid on mages top. That's another scary thing.
It'd be interesting to see if he takes a different mage top.
Yes, yeah.
See what he can do and perform with that.
I'd like to see him pull out
maybe an Echo
game.
Oh,
maybe
an Ornn. An Ornn
I'd like
game.
To see another
say?
almost
he's got
like
a good
full
Ornn.
AP Ornn.
He's got a really
full.
And a full AP Ornn, right? So not tank. Is what you're saying?
Like a carry Ornn. You know what I mean?
Right.
That'd be nuts, bro. That'd be
so.
Looking at his KDA on that Victor is 7.0.
Oh, he is incredible. He is. That might actually be a permaban on IG side.
It could be, yeah.
It might genuinely be. It might genuinely
be. It's going to get 100% pick or ban rate throughout the entire 5 games of it. 5. You know?
It might be one of those things where it's like, lads, we know that this guy's good on Victor. Like, let's just not give it him. Let's just not give it him, sort of thing.
Play
safe. Okay, so just to pull the reins back in a little bit, off the top lane, if you were to give a verdict of which player is better, who would you say and why would you say it?
Wow, that's a big question.
We'll go with Mason first.
I'd say with the picks that we're seeing in the meta, I'd actually go with Whippo.
Okay.
Because of the champs he's playing, the Swain, the Victor, the Ornn, the Jace, the Urgot, the concentrated pool he's got there, and the KDAs that he's got there, with the percent wins, obviously the only person he's lost on was Swain, and even then he still had a positive KD of 2.2. And that's over 3 games.
Right.
You've got a 7.0 and a Victor and things like that, and you look over at the Shy, and the only time you should really see his KD go massive is on Urgot, but that's 1 game, like not over 3. Okay. And he's just been playing different champs each time. So I think the more concentrated, the better. And he's not going to pick Fiora again. He has a 0% win rate on that over 2 games.
Right.
He cannot pick the Fiora.
Right.
Because that's who they lost against Fnatic on both games. I think we are going to see Whippo pull that out. I think maybe he's going to get a bit more help from Broxer.
Right.
But safe play Broxer, because that's why the other teams messed up, because they thought the Shy wasn't as good as he was, so they were going under tower for him when he was still on a positive KD. They're going to play super Shy for the Shy.
Yeah, pardon the pun.
Yeah, I think they're gonna wait for him to push the wave, things like that. They're not gonna act like he's stupid. They know he's good, but they're gonna go off of that.
So what you're saying is that they're gonna respect the Shy, but
yes.
Even if he does if he does make a mistake, they're gonna
capitalize.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So they'll leave him alone in terms of not give him kills from the mid lane, from the jungle.
Okay.
But when he's out of position for 1 second, they're gonna go, right, get him now, because he is such an important player that needs to be gone.
Yeah. No, I that's very fair actually. I would agree with you on those cases.
That's why I think Whippo will come out on top of there.
Okay, that's interesting. Oliver?
I'm actually going to throw out the old evens. I'm going to say it's going to be almost a stalemate top lane.
Okay.
I'd see Whippo and the Shy as being quite similar in terms of their ability. I feel it's going to come down to not necessarily the champions to play, but more their macro ability. Their positions on the map at set times, their ability to push towers, that proper fine macro work that can win games. It almost goes unnoticed sometimes. You don't appreciate a top lane's macro work that they can actually put in and to win a game. So I'm not going to say a set player even is going to come out on top. It's going to solely come down to their macro play.
Okay.
In terms of champions and setting up for team fights, it's all dependent on what they pick at the end of the day. But I do think that the top lane is going to have a huge impact in whether or not a team fight is won. But like I said, that is going to be heavily dependent on what champion they play and what sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like what they bring to the table in the team fight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So you're reckoning basically it's going to be pretty even.
Pretty even, yeah.
Not a single edge to anyone.
If I was gonna give a slight edge, I'm talking fine margins. I would actually say the Shy. I was very, very impressed.
Yeah.
Like I said previously, his performance in the semi-finals, and I feel that along with Blipper as well, that they're both going to have a lot of confidence coming into this final, and I don't think they'll, pardon the pun again, but shy away from the head-to-head top lane.
Yeah,
it's still gonna be an all-out brawl.
No, for sure.
I think it's still gonna be quite even. But if I was gonna edge it, I'd give it to.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Something that's actually quite interesting to point out. Me personally, if I'm to look at the spectrum of worlds, and I'm to say, right, what are the top 2 best top laners at Worlds in 2018? It's funny. I would give top 2 to these 2 top laners.
Yeah.
I think these 2 top laners have been absolutely outstanding.
They deserve to be where they are now.
Right.
And that way.
And to give a little shout out to Whippo as well. This is his rookie year.
It is. Yeah, rookie year.
This is
big
the
year.
first
Huge year.
exactly. This is the first year of LCS and professional in quotation marks League of Legends. Whippo, yeah. And he has done this well. He is outstanding.
He's been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
And when he came in for Fnatic, everyone was questioning why is he taking over SOAS. SOAS has played so long. Since season 1, he has all this experience. But you know what? Bwipo just shut everyone up. Bwipo has just shut everyone up, and
the chemistry of the team
is it's just seemed so good.
And that's another reason why I think that the top lane subs, you know, I don't think that's another reason why I don't think they'll get played. You know, because these 2 are so on form.
Yeah. I think
it's got to be them.
I think it's going to be interesting. My take on the top lane is, and I'm going to include the subs here as well, because I think both Duke and SOAS are good. They're like a nice little puzzle solver in terms of like a weird situation. So SOAS is fantastic on tanks. SOAS is a very, very good tank. So he's a good Sion player. He's a good Cho'Gath player. He's got some other. He'd probably be very good on Ornn. It's been a while since I've seen him play on it. But SOAS is one of those players where it doesn't matter about the matchup. It doesn't matter about the player he's playing against. If you put him in the Rift on this champion, this is what he's going to do, and you're going to get it every single time.
Yeah, I get that.
It's going to be like a bit of an AFK farm until team fights start.
A little bit, right? And he is also very good at team fighting, as is Whippo. For Fnatic.
That's his experience, though.
Right, and the last thing as well to say about about SOAS is this is the 2018 World Championship Finals, right? And SOAS has been there since day 1. He has all the experience under the. He has won Season 1 Worlds with Fnatic. Wow. He has all the experience, maybe the most amount of experience in the West.
That's good to have on your team, though. That's, you know, even if he's not playing, you know, it's
exactly. So I do think that there is a possibility that he can get thrown in there, in my opinion, because he is that experienced, because he knows what to do. And because of maybe a little cookie cutter combination that they've all decided upon pre-game sort of thing. So maybe they say, right, okay, first game didn't go so well. Second game, we're going to throw in SOAS. We're going to put him on this champion. We know he's going to deliver this way, you know, etc., etc. So there is a little shout out towards both Whippo and SOAS there. And Duke is another mechanically good player. Although I will say outright, I do think the Shy is just a better player overall. Yeah. So I'm struggling to see a situation in which Duke's picked. But we'll never. I can't say I know enough about Duke in that situation to actually say much. But maybe they have a little plan in which they think, okay, Duke's going to be better here, or Duke's better in, you know, maybe this jungle top sort of synergy, or maybe something like that.
We'll see on the day. We'll see how that goes.
But personally, I think the the Shy is mechanically gifted, and I think if he doesn't get put on a pick that doesn't help him, so if he's put on a Jace or a carry like that, I see the Shy really doing very well. I can't see the Shy struggling really.
Yeah.
And even though we did have those, I believe it was those 2 poor Fiora games, was it?
Yeah.
I still think even if he tried to pull out Fiora, I don't even think it'd be that bad. You know, because in all due respect, the 2 Fiora games that I did play, it was just the entirety of Fnatic that got rolled over IG. It wasn't just the top lane didn't quite match out or whatever.
Yeah.
So you know, I think the Shy is capable of anything, and that's why personally I have to give it just a slight edge to the Shy. But Bwipo can battle it out with the best of him also. And also, if Bwipo gets put on a mage, I do think Bwipo can easily take that as well. So it's that close. It's
so
that close.
50-50, dude. So 50.
Is that close. So we've decided on the top lane matchup, and we went 2-1 with the Shy over Bwipo. So now let's try and head into the jungle matchup. Now,
jungle, I really want to.
I'll just edge you to him because I know both of you are emphatic junglers, and I know you do enjoy. Whereas that's not my particular role, so I will let you guys.
We'll take it from me.
You'll take it from me.
First thing I want to say is, if IG don't ban Lee Sin, they lose.
Do you mean Fnatic? Oh wait, no. Oh God, Broxer plays Lee Sin.
Yes, Broxer has 100% win rate, 19.3 KDA on Lee Sin.
He is fantastic on that champion.
19.3.
He is
fantastic.
Crazy,
bro. Then you look at Nings, and he has a 50% win rate with a 1.6 KDA.
Wow.
They cannot pick him. They have to ban him.
I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. Yes.
They cannot pick him against Broxer. He just knows that champ out of his arse.
Fucking pick or what?
Absolutely out of his arse. I think they're going to be fighting. They might even first pick that Xin Zhao.
Do you know what? Yeah. You've seen a lot of first pick junglers.
Yeah.
As well.
It does
it's an important role. It's a very important role nowadays.
It seems like jungle is becoming one of the most, if not the most important role out there in terms of banning and picking and drafting the champion for
especially with the meta change, because in the jungle maybe like a season ago you'd see a lot more of the tanks being picked, so you'd see a lot more of the Zac, the Sejuani, but nowadays you're seeing a lot more of the carry potential, like you said, the Lee Sin, the Xin Zhao is getting picked, even Jarvan, even Talia jungle, one of my favorites. You know, Kindred as well, Graves, they're all getting picked, and they're all very, very important within the composition.
Yeah, I think, real quick, the so Broxer, if let's say the jungle doesn't get picked first, they wait for the mid lane pick, right? I think if the other team doesn't pick Lissandra or like a Galio, and they go for, let's say, a Syndra or a LeBlanc, I think we're going to see a Nocturne pick.
Yeah,
Nocturne pick.
I think Nocturne is going to be pick ban, dude. I think it's going to be 100% pick ban.
Yeah. If he's not pick banked, I think Broxer's going to pull out that Nocturne for like a LeBlanc, because the kill potential on a LeBlanc with a Nocturne's crazy.
Yeah. Level 6 is something else.
Yeah. Like, where's she going to jump to if she's blind?
Yeah.
He'll just follow you.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to see another Rek'Sai like it was probably thrown in there. Maybe an Elise. He didn't do very well. He
did not. I will say.
Elise was a bit. Yeah.
I will say though that it wasn't necessarily Brox's Elise. It was just the fact that the opponent just shut down Fnatic so well. So it wasn't actually Broxer. It was more so just the entire team was just getting outplayed. So even if there was an Elise, I wouldn't be worried necessarily. And I do think Elise is a very nice early game jungler. Yeah, and I feel like she can do a lot of stuff in the mid or top lane, which is where the meta seems to be going right now. So yeah, I again with the Elise,
It's touch and go.
I wouldn't look too much on the statistics about at least for Broxer.
Yeah.
It's a very hard champion to play as well. Mechanic. If you compare it to the likes of a Xin Zhao, I feel the pros they can do outstanding stuff. Okay, I get that, but still, I think a person like Ning or a like Broxer would rather have the likes of a Xin Zhao or a Lee Sin or someone.
I think that's definitely to do with the camp clear on a Xin Zhao is incredibly quick. Like level 1, you can get around most of your camps and both scuttles before mid lanes hit like level 3.
I mean, let's shout out Sven Skaren for Cloud9 here. You can very clearly level 2 gank with a Xin Zhao and get a first blood.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You've got his E to catch up to them. Then you've got your W there to slow them. Or if you want to go risky, you take your Q. You've got a knock up.
Yes, absolutely. So if you have some sort of gank assistance with the mid lane or the top or even the bot lane necessarily, then you can do something there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and if you've burnt the LeBlanc's W, you can get a flash out of that 100%.
Yeah,
if a LeBlanc flash the W and they're in the middle of the lane and you E to them, they're scared.
Yeah.
Very scared.
Yeah,
we have to play that lane a hell of a lot different if that is the case.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the same with a Camille. Because yes, the Camille's got the initial stun, which they're not guaranteed to hit, especially with something like a LeBlanc
Quite
or
a hard
Aurelia.
skill to hit.
It can be with the mobility of these champs, especially if we see an Aurelia mid, if he's got that stun ready, which I wouldn't say that Caps is going to just fling it out and waste it. I don't think he will. He's not one of those sort of Aurelia players. I think he's going to hold on to that, expecting the level 2 gank. Expecting level 3 gank, and he's gonna put as soon as he gets a sense with it, he'll put the first thing down, back off a little bit. If he sees that Camille in, the second one's going in, stunned under the tower. It just can't be done. So I think that's why we'll see the Xin Zhao, the Lee Sin. They'll probably take priority here.
And this is for Broxer, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not so sure about Olaf. It's not gonna get. I don't think Olaf's gonna get picked by Ning. I don't think he's gonna get banned either.
Okay.
Yes, he can go hyper carry, but recently with the meta, I don't think he has been. He's not been as good as he used to be. He was better back in the Sejuani meta.
Right. I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was more of a chase down sort of thing. Now it's all about kill before they can even leave the lane.
Right. Yes, I actually completely agree with that.
Yeah.
My question I'm going to throw out there is, how many tanks in the jungle do you reckon we're going to get?
Hardly any.
And we're talking tanks like Sejuani, we're talking Zac, we're talking that sort of.
It'd be a massive flex pick if they did it.
Unless it's
flex?
Unless it's in a team comp.
Yeah, I think the closest we'll get to tanks is a tank build on Lee Sin or a Gragas with a bit of armor.
Right, okay, right. I see where you're coming from.
I think that's about it. Maybe even Jarvan if he goes tank build. But we're not going to see a tank. We'll see a bruiser going tank.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I can agree with that also, yeah. I can testify with that.
I just don't think it's viable anymore, really, because you don't want to be fighting long enough to need that health.
It also feels so much about early game. And if you don't have a champion... If you don't have a champion that can do something early game, then what's the point in picking him?
That's the thing. You want a jungler that can go toe to toe with the other jungler.
And exactly right. And let's just bring up the fact that IG being from China, being from the LPL, the Chinese love skirmishing. They love fighting. They love having a bloody fight. Do you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna see a lot of level 2 fights over skulls.
Yep.
Oh, Skull's control is so important.
Since the new meta, it's insane. And if let's say Broxer and Ning, Broxer's gone on to the Lee Sin, or in fact the Xin Zhao, and Ning's gone on to the Camille.
Yeah.
And they're both going for the bot scuttle, and Broxer has mid lane priority. Ning's just not gonna win that. Like he's already at a disadvantage playing with the Camille at level 2 for a scuttle. and then he's going to do it without the priority. And let's say we've got a LeBlanc on caps, or even a Irelia even quicker. That's just not going to work out for him. But we're going to see so many of those fights. I think it could go either way there. It's all dependent on the lane priority on the pick.
Yes, yeah.
Do you reckon we're going to see any level 1 invades? They're normally quite interesting.
I think
Fnatic like to do it.
Fnatic,
yeah.
Fnatic are very renowned.
They'll do it if they start top side. That's what I'll say.
You mean red side, yeah.
Yeah, when they start red side, they like to invade. But I think not as much on the blue side, because it's a bit more safe.
They certainly seem to have plans for level 1, is what I've noticed. Yeah. Even if it is just
straight out of the Nexus, go straight somewhere.
Yeah, even if it is just a 5-point defense or anything, they seem to be very just planned and like are able to foreshadow what the enemy is going to do also, depending on the jungler. Or
something you see a lot with like Jace picks, top things like that. You see a lot of level 1 fighting before the camps even spawned.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you see a lot of them standing doing the 5-point defense, and then they end up in this fight top lane.
Yeah, trying to get trades.
Trying just to get that little advantage. That little advantage. Yeah.
And it's generally around the top side. So I think both parties, whatever the side they start on, they're almost going to have to start the bot side, and maybe have to invade because of the fights that are constantly going on level 1 before camps are even up.
So. Just to pull the reins in a little bit, we've talked quite a bit about Broxah. Oliver, what's your opinion about Ning?
Ning? Well, do you know what? I can't remember for the life of me who he played G2. Let's
have a quick look. Quick browse.
Okay. So he actually pulled out the Talia in one game, at least in Jarvan.
Right.
I can't remember how he did on them, so I guess I don't have much to say on.
Not massive KDAs on them.
No.
But, doesn't seem to be a key player, is what I've noticed. Is Ning?
No, but the thing is, like, for example, he went on the LeBlanc, the Talia in the second game that they played against G2, but they actually banned Talia away from G2 in the semis, so it's sort of like.
It's a confidence pick, that I think.
Yes, it could be that.
I think they won the first game. They're like, right, let's throw them off. We banned it. Was it the first game they banned it?
Yeah, they banned it first.
They banned it the first game. So G2 were like, right, they're going to ban Talia again, and then they pick it, and they're like, crap. Like now we have to completely change because what does it say? What he played the first game?
He played the. Was it the least? No, sorry. He played the Jarvan first game.
Right, so he went a full AD bruiser first game, and then second game he swaps it up to a mage assassin.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Natalia, you know what I mean? Oh my god, she's so strong in the jungle.
Yeah, and the team fighting is completely different.
Yeah.
Changed everything.
Huge. Absolutely.
I think that's why that sort of stuff.
I personally feel like the Jarvan was almost like a little. How do I word this? Almost like putting your toes in the sense of like just like figuring it out and getting warmed up almost, because I feel like that's why he picked that Jarvan, in order to say, right, I'm understanding how they're going to play now, sort of thing.
Yeah, you've got a champ that can leave camps if he has to, can invade, can
just in general a good champion to be able to get in, get out, also fantastic late game.
It's a good vision champion.
I would say one thing about Ning.
Champion.
Go for it.
I've got one thing to say about Ning, is you are seeing him play the more tankier champions in comparison to Broxah.
Right.
So he was the one bringing out the Zac, the Jarvan, even the Gragas. Call him more of a tankier champion. So he's definitely, got that ability to bring out them champions as necessarily. And if we are going to see a tank, I do think he'll be the one to bring it out.
Right.
Overall, I'm going that Brox is going to have more of a impact on the game as a jungler. Yeah. I am crazy in favor for Broxer as having a jungle advantage.
I would absolutely have to agree, without a doubt. I think Broxer. Sorry to cut you off. I think Broxer has, maybe with Svenskeren, been the best jungler of Worlds. I think he's been that good. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal, and
he's been vital into the success. 72.9% kill participation.
Absolutely,
it goes to show how much he's involved.
On a 9.4 KDA overall compared to 4.5.
He is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I also think he's gonna. That is why, as you say, he's been such an impact. That is why Fnatic's done so well, because he's been able to help the top lane.
Yeah.
Because he's been able to help the mid lane in these specific metas, and even going down and help Reckless and Hylissang in the bot lane. So he just seems to know everything. And I personally think so, for example, on that Elise, where in that Elise game where Fnatic did get rolled and they did look like they struggled, and Broxer didn't perform very well on the Elise, I think that's the only way that anyone can beat them, almost, with their 12-2 record in Worlds at the minute. It feels like that's the only way they can beat him, because Broxer's that good. Shut down Broxer, shut down Fnatic is almost like what it feels like.
Something else I see in Broxer that you don't see in Ning is you see him pushing these side lanes by himself because he's confident.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the vision.
Mm-hmm.
He's helping his team get that first tower, not taking the gold, obviously.
Yeah.
He's everywhere but nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Like, you will be like, oh, we've just had a team fight bottom. We're going to think, oh, yeah, the Lee Sin's going to have to back now. But no, he's up top lane. He's just taking your second tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or he's just taken Rift after he's killed someone straight mid lane, and that's it. Like, he's just taking the Rift straight away. They put it down. They get going.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligent plays. It's almost like a jungle outplay.
Right. It feels to me personally, and to attest to what Oliver said, it feels like Broxer is just out skilling, out playing, and just out whatever macroing Ning in every sense. It feels like, to me personally. Yeah. So me personally, I mean, Broxer is maybe the most key component of Fnatic, so it's hard to not say that Broxer is going to be better than Ning. In the final, and just in general, it just feels that way. So with the jungle being thrown off, or with the jungle having a 3-0 in favor of Broxer, we can now bring it down to the mid lane, the highly contested, the highly solo killed mid lane from Caps and Rookie. Respectively.
I am so looking forward to this mid lane, bro.
It's where every game is make or break.
It feels like it. It feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but with Rookie being the mid lane, like
the mid lane god that he is
of World so far.
Yeah.
Against Caps, who is obviously just world renowned as an absolute god.
The best in the West is what Caps is. Yeah.
It's such a.
Watching him against Cloud9 was something.
He played so good.
Yeah,
like it's Jensen in the middle for Cloud9, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah,
Jensen, incredible player,
fantastic,
absolutely mechanically insane.
Mm-hmm.
You saw him the game before, just absolutely mow over the other team.
Mm-hmm.
But you watch him go against Caps, and he just got shattered.
Yeah,
like, his confidence completely.
That's something I was going to point out. It felt like his confidence, his emotional stability, everything just seems to go like down to zero.
That's what Caps just does to you, though. Because Caps to me is such a cocky player.
Yes,
but it's just so good.
He knows he can pull it off, so he does it anyway. Like, let's say you just got 2 HP'd, you go back to base, you come back, and he will jump on you again.
Oh yeah, if
he will 2 HP you again, and then you just like, well, what can I do? I just have to sit under tower and farm.
Yeah,
exactly. There was one game actually.
Under tower and farm, and you get jungle killed.
Well, there was one game where Caps did a fucking back recall like BM. Yeah, recall BM and got the kill, and that just sums him up as a player. You know?
Yeah.
And especially when he brought out the bloody Vayne mid lane.
Oh, in LCS, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I always bring that up because I just think that's just an iconic moment.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. But he's absolutely full of confidence. His champion pool is absolutely out of this world.
Yeah.
He can play
Can pull out
mechanically
these,
gifted
the rise.
champions. Oh, he's got it all. But I think that's going to be one of the most heavily contested lanes in this series.
I think it's going to be. Sorry to cut you off. I think it's going to be the most important lane to.
It is.
I think that's just going to be it down to the series. I think
Uh-huh.
there's no way you can back off and cower away even. And I think specifically with Caps, the one thing I will say about him, which isn't necessarily negative, but it does very much seem to be like a
loose cannon.
A little bit of a loose cannon, but a on the day sort of feel. So it's like you don't quite know if you're going to get your average Caps or if you're going to get your Caps, which will be any mid laner in the world. That's something I will admittedly say.
Yeah.
Because there have been times. I mean, for example, we have had 3 games of Fnatic versus IG, and there was one time where Caps was playing Akali versus, I believe it was Rookie's LeBlanc, if I recall that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And in lane, I believe Fnatic actually ended up winning, and Caps actually popped off out of lane. When after laning phase, sorry. Popped off on Akali, did very well. But in lane, he was 30 CS down and he was getting killed after killed after killed. He really was not doing very well in lane. So because of this, it worries me. It does worry me about Caps.
I'd say yes and no, because taking that example, he's the sort of player that goes, right, my lane's gone, let's just kill everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
If I cannot kill my laner, I can kill the bot lane, the top lane, the jungle. I've still got everyone else left. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can kill them. If I can kill them, that's it, GG.
He looks at them advantages and get elsewhere.
Yeah, and to say picking in Akali against LeBlanc is a bad pick.
Do you think?
In my opinion, yeah. I've played on both sides of that.
I think there's better picks. But
I think it's a difficult pick for sure. I think it's a difficult pick.
Like, especially when you think the Akali obviously uses her energy for her Q, which is her ranged attack, and apart from that, she's melee.
Mm-hmm.
But your LeBlanc's got a stun, her Q, her dash. She can CS under tower as much as she wants.
Yeah.
Akali, she has to get up in their face, and even to trade, she has to be on top of LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And LeBlanc can just W away if she wants for the trade.
Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from, to be fair. I'm not too sure about Akali. I haven't played her much, I haven't watched too much of her. But it does feel like actually there aren't many lanes like pre-6 where actually she is favoured in.
No, I wouldn't say that either, yeah.
It all depends, obviously, but on the matchup and stuff. But yeah, I've noticed that with Akali does seem to be a get out of lane ASAP sort of champion.
It's because Akali's got sort of no CC pre-6. You know, it's hard for her to get a solo kill or even for a gank assist. You know, it's normally easier
so mechanical based.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, but it's just so much easier if you're playing a champion that can root them or stun them of some sort.
Like an
jungler comes in, and then that could be a kill for your lane. It's easier to get ahead via the help of a jungler.
Yeah, but if a jungler comes into an Akali lane, there's no CC there. It's all about damage, and the jungler has to do all the CC.
Exactly. So it's a bit of a different story in that sense. But I'm not putting it down on Akali. I think Akali's still absolutely fantastic champion. When an Akali pops off, you are scared.
Yeah,
you are very, very scared. But I think it's based on a team.
I'd like
very situational.
I'd like to see these year come out of Caps again because when it came out against Cloud9,
it was fantastic.
Holy,
it was amazing.
The team fighting was insane. He got a quadra kill?
He did. Yeah.
Was a quadra kill. Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Like the ultis he was pulling out, he was just on it, constantly on it.
I mean, that's something else to say about Caps is that actually he doesn't have a concentrated champion pool. He has a champion ocean. This guy
Yeah,
can
it
play
literally
anything.
is.
This guy can play anything and
It's like
do okay, if not fantastic on him.
you literally don't have enough bans to ban his pool.
No, you
Oh,
really
no,
don't.
you can never ban against Caps really,
In
because
which-
he'll just pull out something that'll
Right.
somehow work.
In which I then think that that's going to be another. Actually, it's quite funny. I think this is going to help RG in the sense that they know not to put any bans towards mid lane. They know
Yeah,
that's
I
going to
think-
be stupid.
I think the only ban they will put is Aurelia.
Yes, I can
if
understand
any,
that.
if any.
Yeah, because he's played her so much.
Yeah,
Literally 5 games.
and
I
on
think,
on
right,
top of that,
so strong at that.
on top of that, it's the flex to top lane as well. If Whipper wanted to pick up that, so I can understand that. But other than that, I think actually putting any bans towards Caps, I think is actually quite silly because the guy can play anything. So why would you focus Caps, sort of thing?
You're better off looking at bans for top lane for jungle. Definitely for bot lane.
Bot lane, bot lane, you'll see a lot of bans.
You'll
So,
see we'll get into that anyway.
So I mean, we will eventually get into that bot lane, which is going to be quite a fiasco. So what about Rookie? What are your guys' thoughts about Rookie then?
I haven't seen too much about Rookie. I know I've seen a little bit more. But he just doesn't feel as prominent in games.
Okay.
He obviously picks up the kills. He's he can carry, as we've seen with like the Lysandra. He's very good on Lysandra. But I don't feel like he has that sort of Caps carry.
Okay.
He's there for the ganks and things like that. I'd say he has hell of a lot less solo kills as well.
Right. Okay.
He can't solo kill like Caps.
I would agree. Sorry to interrupt. I would agree that I do feel like Caps's peak is higher than Rookie's. If that's trying to what you
Yes.
I would agree with that. It does feel like Caps has like no ceiling, whereas Rookie does have one. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's almost like Rookie can't go as low as Caps. Like he can't do as bad as Caps, but he can't do as good as Caps.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's an average. He'll come to lane and he'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
He'll do the same thing each game. But
reliable.
You're never gonna see him go like 11-1.
Right. Okay.
It's just not gonna happen.
Okay. That's an interesting thought actually. A lot of the analysts for Worlds has said that Rookie has been probably the best player this MVP at this Worlds, but that isn't necessarily because he's been playing out of this world like Caps can do, like Jensen can do, and all these other mid laners. It's more just been more for the solidarity that like the Faker. Faker is an incredible, outstanding player, but like the thing that we know most for Faker, other than when Perk steps into the Rift, it feels like he is so solid. You're never gonna get let down by that player.
Yeah.
So that's why I actually do rate Rookie. I rate Rookie a lot for that personally.
I rate him. I wouldn't rate him above Caps in this situation.
Okay. So Oliver, any final thoughts about Rookie or the mid lane in total?
I've seen Rookie quite a bit this tournament, and I would say I agree with the analysts. He has been a very, very good player for probably one of the most important players for IG. But I do agree with the sort of point you made that he's there for a solidarity. You know, he's he's not going to let you down.
Never. Yeah.
He's very, very comfortable where he is, what he plays, probably whoever he comes up against.
Right.
It's always a case of I have trust, I have faith in this guy.
Absolutely.
No. Is he a reason why they win or lose? I don't know. You know, he has got the most kill participation on the team, so that goes to show that maybe he is. But I'm more convinced, and I do have a very heavy bias Caps it is, unfortunately, in this case.
No, that's
So
understandable.
I am going to be in favour of Caps in this matchup. But I do think it's going to be a very, very, very similar story to the top lane in terms of how even it's going to be. I'd love to see the mid lane, either mid lane, just absolutely pop off, make it their game, control it how they want to, because I'd absolutely love to see that so much. Absolutely. Just like a LeBlanc for either of them, just going nuts. One combo, an ADC, and boom, disappeared absolutely off the rift. Can
I just throw this out there? Is LeBlanc maybe the best mid laner in the game at the minute?
LeBlanc is fantastic. I've been playing a lot recently, and I'm absolutely loving my life playing LeBlanc recently. It's so much fun.
It just feels like LeBlanc with mid lane, does it not?
It is.
It feels like LeBlanc Lissandra.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Because you pick LeBlanc, Lissandra's the counter.
That's what it feels like.
They pick Lissandra, and you're just like, well, I might as well play LeBlanc.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's not as if Lissandra's like a hard counter. It's just I can deal with LeBlanc.
Safer champion than those.
Yeah, exactly.
I've played LeBlanc and come up in lanes against the likes of like a Ziggs or a Veigar or something daft, and I've picked LeBlanc into that and thought to myself, do you know what, like, they're immobile as fuck. I'm gonna dick on them.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun just being able to have that. Oh, I'm gonna poke, or full combo you, ignite you, you're dead. That's a solo kill right there.
Something we haven't seen this Worlds, which was seen so much in the previous ones, is Kassadin.
Okay.
Kassadin's a counter pick to LeBlanc as well.
We haven't seen her at all.
Kassadin is an interesting one because Kassadin scales incredibly well. Kassadin is all about getting to the 2-3 items, and then at level 14, Kassadin will pop off. That's just an absolute fact.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a scaling composition with your likes of maybe an Ornn, Kai'Sa, Kassadin, that's when Kassadin will do fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just useless six.
Unfortunately, it does feel like, because of it being early game meta and it being a fighting meta, it feels like Kassadin isn't going to do that well.
No, it's a shame.
I think if we had a Korean team or two Korean teams in the finals and the semis, we would have seen it.
I agree.
I agree. Baker, he picks Kassadin so hard. Like, that his Kassadin is insane, and the Koreans are so good at it. I think we would have seen that counter, but the west side of it, they don't really go into that sort of territory. They stick with
especially not this Worlds.
Yeah, they stick with the LeBlanc, the Lissandra. They go for the more of the safer options.
It's very much, speaking about the Korean side, it very much is a Korean play style to play for the late game, if you like, to play for the scale and stuff. So that's where Kassadin really shines, and that's why you do see your Korean mid laners like Crown or Faker or anyone else that plays in mid lane actually doing stuff like that. So no, I for sure would agree with that. But so if we're to give the final verdict for the mid lane, who are we having, boys?
Caps.
Just edging Caps.
Yeah.
I personally would give it to Rookie because it's 5 games, or it could be 5 games. And if there's going to be 5 games, I'm wanting confidence, not confidence. I'm wanting reliability, and I'm wanting. I mean, there's a reason why people are saying that he's the MVP of Worlds, sort of thing. So I do think Rookie is not necessarily a better player at their peak, or at his peak even, but I do feel like he's just a more all-rounded player, well-rounded player, in my opinion. Yeah. So I personally would give, but I would actually give both solo lanes to IG. Now we get into the hard stuff. we get into that bot lane. Yeah.
The
Oh
bot
my.
lane,
Kick
I
us
want to
off.
say right away, I don't know if this is a bug or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
The stats that I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
But Reckles has a 70 KD on Sivir. 70.
I'm reading. I think I'm reading the same. No. You mean KDA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm seeing 12.6 here for
Right. Okay.
Reckless. Yeah.
No, that's overall. Look, it's Sivir, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's
It's
Sivir.
Sivir.
Oh right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh
So
my.
70 KDA.
yeah, he must have
Does
had
as
one
well.
real good game.
Like,
Although he has played it 6 times.
You look at every single stat on the Reckles versus Jackie Love. Reckles wins.
That's, I mean,
every single stat.
That's something I have to say. I do think Reckless completely outmatches Jackie Love. I don't rate Jackie Love really whatsoever, unfortunately.
No, you don't really hear of him.
I don't think he's that good. I think, you know, it's a shame that Uzi isn't here, because can you imagine the Uzi versus Reckless
nuts.
bot lane? That would be maybe one of the best finals ever. Uzi being the best ADC in the world, and then you've got Reckless being maybe the
Reckless
best.
is a contender.
Yeah,
I'd say the best West.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
ADC.
Yeah, maybe the best in the West in terms of ADCs is Reckless. So, dude, it's a shame that it feels so outmatched, in my opinion, for the Fnatic, because I would have liked a closer matchup there.
Yeah. I'll tell you something that you see on the Reckless side more than the Jackie Love side is you see objective ADCs. Like the Sivir, great.
So like
your
split
towers.
Pushers and stuff like that. Right.
Sivir, Trist, Xayah, amazing for taking towers. Why can't the name of the champ now?
Ezreal,
not so good. There you go. Ezreal not as good as taking towers.
But, and it's the old Ezreal as well. You got to bear him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then you look at Jackie Love. He's played Kai'Sa a lot. None of his abilities is it's late game. It's not really for the objective. It's for the team fights.
It's for your 40+ minute games where Kai'Sa's gonna pop off. Yeah.
That's your hard graft.
That's actually something that we've seen that I've noticed. Even just looking at the objectives, like the Elder Dragons, things like that. Fnatic win games quick.
Yes. Yeah.
Fnatic win games so fast before the other team can really clap back, and IG win late game.
Yeah, I mean that's also the scary thing though. It does feel like, I mean, specifically watching the LCS also from Fnatic. I can't say I've watched much or any of the LPL, so I'm biased in this sense, but it does feel like Fnatic can still win late game too. It does feel like if it does go 40, 45, 50 minutes, they still can win. It's not out of realm. Yeah.
I think the reason for that is because they dominate so much in the early game, mid game. They've scaled every single person on their team so much they're almost like 2 levels ahead.
Yep. Yeah.
And they can't lose a team fight unless they absolutely cock it up.
Right. No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's why they can win that late game. But I think if let's say one of the games between Fnatic and IG, if that goes late game and they are even, I'd be scared for Fnatic because they seem to like the late game. They get the more dragons, the more like, you know what I mean? Like they go for the objectives to push their stats.
Okay.
And they actually, surprisingly, IG have more percentage on first bloods.
Right.
They have a 60%, Fnatic have a close 57%. But either way, they both push for those first bloods.
Right, for sure. So it does seem like late game carries, which is what Jackie Love seems to prefer with your Kai'Sa and things like that. It does seem like actually that's always been their playstyle almost.
Is the late game.
Yeah.
I think that's
almost quite the
Korean.
Sion. Almost quite the Korean and that sort of
the
sense.
Sion, the Galio, the Camille.
Almost. Sorry, go on.
I was even going to say the Tom Kench.
Right.
The support. It's the same across the board. They have those late game picks in there. When you look at the Fnatic, The Victor, that's going to be early game. The Lee Sin Xin Zhao, early game LeBlanc, Aurelia, same again, Sivir, and then you've got the Rakan, the Braum. They're
Right.
all early game to mid game champs that can just pop off. Every single one of those champs can pop off. They can all carry.
Hmm. For sure.
So,
This,
yeah.
So the thing, only before I hand it off to Oliver, the thing I've noticed about Reckless specifically is that every champion he's played has been super safe. So it's been your Sivir, your Xayah, your Ezreal, and your Tristana. Granted, Tristana's been played once, and Sivir is his most popular champion to date right now at Worlds. So it's all very safe, barring Xayah pre-6, obviously. So what it seems to me is that almost he's given the baton to the top and mid lane and said, right, you guys can try and do something in lane. I'm going to chill out for now and let us get into the team fights. Let us get into the mid game. Let us get into the skirmishes sort of thing. So it doesn't actually look like he's looking for any jungle presence or anything like that. He's just saying, actually, you know, Jackie Love, you can do what you want. I'm going to be safe as anything right now. That's something that, I mean, with those specific champions, that's what that says to me, at least.
You make a very good point there.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's interesting to see that the bot lane's sort of the lane where the champions are sort of more narrowed down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost a lane where you're more than likely to see the same champion played over and over again.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire series. I'm actually really glad that Sivir's come back into meta.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah, me too.
That this Worlds has actually almost brought her back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Because in previous games, she was just there in Champion Select. You know, you wouldn't even bat an eyelid at her, type of thing. And now she's back, and it's absolutely fantastic to see. And to see Reckless do so well on her, it's great. Absolutely great. 100% win rate in 6 games. Like that is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the 70
KD. I know, that's nuts.
Where has that come from?
I don't think that's Reckless.
That almost might be a record. Like, I don't think you'll see that stat anywhere else.
Oh, I doubt it. Highly doubt it.
It's got to be a record.
Just to sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say I'm very fond of Reckless's Xayah. It's quite iconic. I've learned a lot of my Xayah mechanics watching Reckless play her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very impressive to see, especially the Reckless Hylissang bot lane. Especially with Xayah Rakan, you know that. It's always a fantastic watch, you know.
Yeah.
But I do think he's a very, very pivotal player within the Fnatic side.
For sure.
And more so now than he was seasons ago.
Right.
He's become more of a independent player, I would say. Whereas before
I completely agree.
He would strongly rely on more of a team composition to to make the plays. Whereas now you're seeing him make the plays himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a very different play style that he's adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as you know what, I think that's being influenced by the fact that he actually got dropped not so long ago when the meta changed.
Yes.
Bot lane was an absolute fiasco.
Yeah.
You know, you were seeing the likes of Vladimir, Heimerdinger in the bot lane.
Your bruisers, your mages.
Yeah, champions that he didn't necessarily play. And I was absolutely gutted when he wasn't in the lineup, or he was playing champions like Janna and stuff like that. It's very strange to see that.
It was a smart move. It was a smart move.
It was a smart move at the time, you know. It was just a bit gutting to see.
On Fnatic's side to put
really
in that
happy.
Bot lane.
Yeah, I'm really happy that he's back to his absolute best.
Yes, I agree.
Performing out of this world
mm-hmm.
on champions that he is confident on, and like you said, safe champion. But he can win you games. You know, he's got the potential to absolutely pop off, and that's it. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
See you later. Jackie Love, I'm not a big fan of, like you said. He's not impressed me.
He's had a good couple of individual moments, a good couple of clutches where it's always been the risk has been the highest it's ever seen, but the reward has also been there. He does seem to be that sort of player, almost like the Caps, if you like.
I get that.
He is,
I do see him a bit of a loose cannon, kind
yes,
of
in this,
on the day sort of
right.
player.
But he does actually seem to. Sorry to cut you off. He does actually seem to have. So when I watched him in the semis, he did seem to have changed himself up a little bit. He just seems to have been able to look in the past VODs, look at his past games, this Worlds, maybe even through the LPL, and just say, "Look, I can't do this anymore. I have to play this way." And he did seem to have changed himself up. So there is a sense of improvement there. So it doesn't seem like
over the course of the tournament,
right?
Sort of thing.
It doesn't seem as if it's going to be so one-sided. It feels like actually he has made an improvement there, and he is able to. He seems very adaptable, right?
I get that.
The thing I was going to say about Sivir is that LS has said something quite good about Sivir, is that Sivir's never in the meta. Sivir is an answer to the meta, and I think that's quite true. I do agree with that statement personally, as that with the meta of being so so many champions being so mobile, having so many assassins, your solo lanes are so important. Sivir does seem to be a good answer to that.
I get that. Well, she's got that ulti that can just
absolutely, and he is the most valuable asset. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
I think with a Sivir, you see a lot more bot lane going up to middle to answer to the mid laner. So
it's a lot heavy
they're
push.
just on the tower. Yeah, the Sivir will ulti from bot river up to the middle, and they'll just get that extra kill in there.
Another gank assist.
Yeah.
I do think bot lane's got a very it's comfort picks for both players almost.
It feels like that, yeah.
It feels as though it's going to be either a Kai'Sa Xayah or a Sivir Xayah,
Yeah, so like you look at every other lane, it's like, oh, they've had 3 on each champ, or 4 or 5 on each champ, and then you look at bot, it's like 6 and 8.
So different, yeah. And I'm starting to think, if I were Fnatic, do I want to ban this Kai'Sa for Jackie Love?
I would say
75% win rate.
Definitely banning the Kai'Sa.
I personally say no. I personally say no, and my reasoning for saying no is that actually, I don't think they're bothered about the Kai'Sa. I don't think that actually the early
even
mid
with
game,
the hyperscale.
Even with the hyperscale, I don't think that Fnatic even want the game to go that far. So I think actually just leave the Kai'Sa there, let her do nothing, and then just win the game early.
If I was in Fnatic's position, I would ban the Kai'Sa, force them onto the Xayah, because he has a 3.5 KDA on the Xayah, right?
Okay.
Then you take the Sivir if you can. If you can't, obviously you go for your Tristram Ezreal.
Right.
Ezreal would be quite a good counter pick to the Xayah, because he kind of dodges the snare. And force them onto the less confident picks against somebody who can to play any champ bot lane.
True.
You know what I mean?
I'm actually really surprised I've not seen Lucian a lot. I think Lucian is one of if not the best bot laner there is out there.
Yeah,
and I'm so surprised he's not being played. But I don't think he's Reckless's champion, to be honest.
I've not seen him play it much.
Yeah, that's the thing. And
go for it.
I mean, I'm not saying he should play it, because he's really good ADC at the moment. I'd like to see it played. It's so good. It's absolutely fantastic. But I would not push him on it because of that reason. If you can get the likes of like a Sivir or a Xayah, then
as a spectator, it's certainly a nice champion to watch. And
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's mobile. It fits in with the meta as it is. It's got a really good synergy with quite a few supports at the moment as well, especially with the Braum.
Speaking about the Lucian, I have a couple of questions for you two. Obviously, you two play ADC a lot also. Do you think that maybe either team directs bans towards the ADC? So what we're saying is IG say, okay, Reckless, you're not allowed to play Sivir, Xayah, Ezreal, or Tristana. And if so,
Oh,
the second question is, if so, what else do you play?
okay. So
I'd say, sorry, I'd
Sorry.
say they're gonna put maximum 2 bans towards the bot lane. Maximum.
Right.
More than probably just one.
I think
a lot of the
I think they
bans are
get the
gonna
Sivir
be-
out there. I think they ban the Sivir.
They ban
Personally.
the Sivir. They ban
Yeah.
the Sivir 100%. I think apart from that, and then obviously the ban back on the Kaiser or whatever it is. Apart from that, I think most of the bans are going to come from the support lane.
Okay.
And then maybe looking at the mid and the top, like the Atarox that gets banned, or the jungle even for maybe the Xin.
So you're thinking
whatever
no.
it is. Yeah, I'm thinking no. I think it's just going to be one ADC and then probably like 2 supports.
Mm-hmm. What about
I'm
you,
gonna
Oliver?
say I'm actually gonna say yes and no in a way. I'm gonna go with the bans are going to be bot lane, the first banning phase.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like we are going to see some bot laners banned there. I do think the Sivir is going to be a permaban.
Yeah.
I can't see IG letting Reckless get his Sivir after the
I would
performance
agree.
given.
I would agree.
Whereas, do you know what? You've made a good point about the Kaiser, about the late game scaling. Maybe they could have him, but I kind of, this is where I guess the no sort of comes in. Maybe they do ban it, maybe they don't ban it. It's sort of 50-50 in my eyes.
Up at the air.
Personally, I would as sort of a safer option.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem to be quite a high comfort pick for Jackie Love. So if you get that out the question, then that could boost their chances of.
Either way,
we'll
see a Xayah on one side.
I do think Xayah is going to get
that
picked.
That is why I think there's definitely going to be a Rakan ban too.
Yes, yeah. That's
they don't want the Xayah Rakan. That's what they
Xayah Rakan super strong.
That's actually a nice little segue into the supports with Hylissang and I'm gonna butcher this name, but I believe it's Bolan.
I think it's Bolan as well.
Yeah.
Bolan, yeah, Bolan.
So sorry, I'm losing my voice here. What are your guys' thoughts about Hylissang and Bolan?
I don't see much of the support lane. The stats, they look very even.
Mm-hmm.
Very even. Even the pool of champions, the only difference is there is a Tom Kench and Eliona.
Is that for Bolan or?
That is for Bolan.
Okay.
But that's the only difference in champ pool. Apart from that, they've gone Rakan, Braum, Thresh, and Alistair.
Right.
Alistair's been played a hell of a lot more for Bolan. He's only been played once for Hylissang.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously the main picks over on the Hylissang is Rakan and Braum, and then the Thresh and Alistair just one times.
Right.
I'd like
maybe a good target ban. Maybe some good target bans for IG there then.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the Braum, Rakan. The Rakan's definitely going to get banned. No matter one side is definitely going to ban it.
It's either going to be Xayah or Rakan. It sort of takes them out.
But I don't think so. Let's say Fnatic ban Rakan. I don't think either team would then want to ban Braum because they want him first.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they both play him so much. Mm-hmm. That's their safety. Mm-hmm. They would be sort of silly to ban him when he's so strong right now.
It does feel like Braum is a good answer to the Alistair also.
Yes.
So it feels like Braum is. Both teams kind of like have the ace up the sleeve with the Braum, but they're also very scared about the opponent's Braum. Right?
I'd like to see, if a Braum gets picked, I'd like to see maybe a Thresh come out on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something that is more CC based rather than damage based, or like how do I say, like push against.
Mm-hmm.
Because Braum's very, he'll just stand in the way of the ADC. He'll take all the hits. Thresh is like, come here, I'm bringing you to my ADC.
Yeah.
More in the face.
Yeah. I'd love to see some really cool plays come out from like Hylissang. even Bolin. But yeah, I think the Rakan's definitely going to get banned if it doesn't. Like you look at Hylissang, he's played him 6 times.
Right.
Same as this, it's the same statistic as the Sever. Something must be working there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The Braum picks are insane. So one team's going to get a Braum, 100%.
Pick or ban.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
I'd say maybe if they're going to go for 2 bans on the bot side for Fnatic, I'd say they'd probably go, if they're going to ban Rakan, and then Alistair as well. That'd probably, or maybe even Leona, because Leona's getting banned quite a lot.
Yeah, I do believe actually Hylissang in the LCS did have a very strong Leona, and also it does look like Bolan is able to play
3 times.
Yeah, is able to play Leona also. So it does feel very scary to leave that in the mix.
I don't think we'll see a Tom Kench ban, but if he gets picked, he can be incredibly strong.
Tom Kench is a very nice setup for an immobile ADC. So yeah, so like if you have your Varus or your Ashe or other champions that are immobile in that bot lane, Tom Kench is the save button.
Yeah, you almost need Tom Kench.
Yes, that's what it feels like.
It's a necessity.
Yeah, and even to run the point home about the Fnatic banning the Rakan, I was just looking now. The KDA of Bolin on Rakan is 17.
Wow.
With a 100% win rate. And that's
Okay.
just over 2 games. And then you look at Hylissang, a 4.2 KDA.
Still good.
Still good, but not as dangerous.
Okay.
I think Fnatic need to ban that Rakan, because need to ban the Rakan and
Or
the Kai'Sa,
get
so they can't have the Xayah Rakan build.
Right.
You can't have that. You know what I mean?
I agree. I believe it's either you need to get that Rakan or get rid of the Rakan.
Yeah.
Right? No, I for sure.
Pick, or it needs to go.
Completely agree with you. Yeah, Oliver, any thoughts?
So when it comes down to bot lane, I know Hylissang is renowned for his absolutely like godness on Braum.
Yeah,
I know his Braum is so clean. Especially when you've got a Reckless by your side in lane as well. If you're the anchor in that lane, and you've got an ADC,
such a hyper carry like Reckless, then you're
in for an absolute treat, you know. So I do feel like Braum is going to get 100% pick or ban rate throughout the entire series. I feel like Rakan, I reckon he'll get played in at least 1 game, depending on how well good or bad he does. But the thing is, it's sort of like when you are banning, you will not buy Xayah, you will not ban Xayah and Rakan. It's very rare that
it's a waste of a ban, isn't it?
Exactly. You'll normally see one or the other. So I feel like in terms of eliminating one of them, it would be either a Xayah ban on its own or a Rakan ban on its own. And chances are,
go on.
You know, that would happen. I feel like that is going to happen in, you know, maybe a couple of games.
I really think
pick and ban stage.
I really think that Rakan is the most important to pick or ban over the Xayah. Because Rakan, it feels like Rakan's support, the actual utility he brings, is just overall better than
it works
Xayah
in so many different compositions.
Right.
As well.
That's exactly. And then when you put those two together, it's just a monster.
Xayah Rakan bot lane, it's so hard to play against.
Oh,
you know, they've got so much kill pressure as a 2v2.
Speaking of duos, what are the chances we're going to see a Thresh Kalista in this series?
Oh wow! Back in the day,
every single game,
every game.
But Kalista got picked and banned 100%. Was it last Worlds?
Last Worlds, 100% pick ban ratio.
I remember that. That was nuts. And nowadays she's off the map.
Yep.
I was actually just thinking, like, something that you haven't seen for a while that would be really crazy to see is like a Sion support.
Right.
It's always a possibility.
So you're off meta support.
Your damage supports. You know what I mean? Like something a little bit weird, like maybe a Maokai. You haven't seen Maokai in so long.
It would be quite interesting.
Yeah,
Or
it
even
was,
Bring it out in a Worlds final.
yeah, a
like
Zyra.
like a mage support. Like, when's the last time you really saw a mage support?
Or like a brand, yeah.
Yeah, everything you see now is just tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks.
It's
It's just settled though, isn't it? It's what they bring to
yes,
fights. You
that's
know,
it, isn't it? It's the setup.
You don't even see like healers anymore. You don't see Soraka,
No.
Sona. Sona would be really cool to see.
Mhm.
Like a Sona Trist.
Mhm.
That'd be really cool.
DJ Sona as well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be DJ Sona if it's Sona played. I love that. Absolutely love that.
So
but coming back onto the point, actually,
Go
Calista
for it.
Fresh, I was going to say that if you do see the likes of bot lane being target banned, I do feel like a new champion that we haven't yet seen being played by either of these players, so Jackie Love or Reckless, they could end up bringing out the likes of, like, say, Calista or an Ashe, Varus. Even
Varus.
I'm gonna throw out a Vayne. Fuck it. Let's say Vayne gets played. It could be something absolutely nuts that we don't expect.
I'd say if we ever saw something like a Varus or a Vayne, it'd definitely be from Jackie Love. Like we see from the late game scaling.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
I agree.
Varus is useless early game. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Reckless just not want it really.
The nice thing about Varus is that he has so many different styles and builds also. So actually he's super flexible in that sense.
Yeah, he can almost be like a second support for the mid laner and things like that.
He could go AP Varus, he can go AD, he could go lethality, he can do anything is what it seems like.
That pretty much describes Kai'Sa.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Kai'Sa's another flex in terms of build wise.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you'd ever see Reckless playing a Varus, a Kai'Sa. You'd see that only on the Jackie Love side.
Okay, so if we are to put a or just a better player label, if you like, on both Reckless and Hylissang and Jackie Love and Bolan, what are we saying?
As a duo, as like a bot lane duo.
Yeah, I definitely lean towards the Fnatic, Reckless, and Hylissang on both teams. Even if you split them up, Reckless versus Jackie Love, Reckless, Hylissang versus Bolan, Hylissang, 100% of the time.
Okay,
I would agree completely.
I would agree, and also to put a little note out on there, I'm losing my voice. I actually think, along with Ning, I think Bolan is actually one of the worst players in IG. I don't. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Bolan, and it seems like he makes a lot of mistakes. I'm not sure if it's nerves or something like that. But it does seem that, like for example, go for it.
I was going to say the same about Jackie Love. Like Ning and Jackie Love they don't have that prominence in the team. You just never hear about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes, he might turn up once to clutch a little bit of thing, but when have you ever heard them say Jackie Love won them that game?
Right.
Ning won them that game. They don't. They might go Rookie or the Shy won them that, but you just don't hear it from the ADC or the jungle.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would agree completely. But yeah, I don't think Bolan, even when he plays his comfort picks like the Leona, it's like the Leona ults he does pull out just doesn't seem very good.
It's a shame because it's so important.
It is, right? So
it could make or break the series, you know.
Without a doubt. So I would agree wholeheartedly. I think Reckless is going to destroy Jackie Love. But I do think that Jackie Love, providing he's adapted well and you know, what's the word? Revised well in terms of from his past games and stuff. This Worlds, I do think he is a good player still. I don't think he's like outright just the worst player in the team or the worst player at Worlds or anything. I think he's a good player. So I think on a good day, there's a chance he can do something for the team. I think Bolan, unfortunately, is a different story in my opinion. But yes, I would say the bot duo lane goes to Reckless and Hylissang 9 times out of 10.
I'll tell you what, the way we could put it is, obviously you've got Rookie, we said is the reliable player, right? He comes out, he does the same thing every time. I think you can say the same thing about Jackie Love, just on a lower scale. So he's not as good, but you know he's not going to play so bad
Right.
that he loses the game.
Okay.
He's just sort of there to keep the bot lane going, like to keep the towers there.
Mm-hmm.
He's the late game player.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's reliable in the fact of if you can make it to make late game, that's when he'll start showing up.
Okay, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, that's a good point. That.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going down the list from top to bottom, we two of us think that the Shy is going to be outmatch Bwipo. I believe that was me and Oliver. In the jungle matchup, all of us agree that Broxer is going to outplay and outmatch Ning. In the mid lane matchup, both of you think that Caps is going to be better than Rookie over me, believing Rookie is going to be more solid. And in the bot lane matchup, we all agree that the Fnatic duo is going to be Jackie Love and Bolang. So
yes.
from
overall, it's Fnatic side 4-1.
Right. Whereas for me, I believe that the solo lanes for IG are stronger. Not by a huge margin, just by an edge.
But even then, you're still looking at a 3-2.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like player wise, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So it still tilts towards Fnatic no matter what.
Although to counter that, you could say that it is a solo lane meta. So even though it is a 3-2, it is very much about what the mid, the top, and the jungle kind of get off with. So it's very interesting.
It could go either way.
It's
after all of it.
For sure. I think actually outright it might be one of the closest finals we might ever see. I
hope so.
I mean, yeah, so do I. But then on the counter to that, it could be one of the quickest finals we've ever seen. Yeah. How strange is that? How strange is that?
I think if it's the quickest final we'll ever see, Fnatic will outright storm them. If it's
I was gonna go on.
If it's the longest one we'll ever see, I think IG will take it. Okay,
I was about to bring us into the whole prediction side of it, but you very well escorted us there. No, that's a very interesting point you bring there. There's a little game that Popper Smithy, one of the analysts, and also LCK commentator, he played a little game and said, right, if I said to you that if I said to you nameplates are off, you can't see which team won, but if I said that the finals went 3-0, who would you say won?
Fnatic.
Okay. And if I said that it went 3-1, who would you say won?
Fnatic.
Oof. I said it was 3-1. Probably Fnatic again.
Okay. And then obviously with the 3-2,
I'd say IG.
IG.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. That's as well. I'll say interesting a third time. But I sort of actually think the opposite. I think that actually if it does go 3, no, I do for sure. I think if it goes 3-0, that to me says, okay, the solo lanes have absolutely popped off and it's been a 25-30 minute game and Fnatic couldn't do anything. That's what I see in my head personally.
Well, but thinking about that, we did think the whole thing of Fnatic are the early game winners.
Very true.
And IG are the late game winners. So I'm thinking of sort of like the more games played, the longer the games are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So if there's 3 games, they're like 25-minute games. Fnatic are renowned for taking teams out 30 minutes in, 25 minutes in.
Okay.
But IG are there looking at the 35 minutes, 40-minute sort of stretch.
Okay.
And that's where I sort of put that in my head there.
Mm-hmm. So just to get a final prediction from you guys, and we don't want any safe stuff unless you really think it. So we're not going to say, oh yeah, 3-2 is going to be. I want your real prediction, and I want a good, justifiable reason behind why you think said team is going to win.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Do you want to go first, Oliver?
Yeah, right. I've got one. So, I think overall Fnatic will win.
Mhm.
I think they will win 3-1 overall.
Okay.
However, I do feel as though they will lose the first game and win the 3 remaining games consecutively
Mhm.
after that. I
Interesting.
feel I'm basing this off their previous encounters with IG in the World Championships 2018.
Mhm.
Fnatic have come across them 3 times already in this tournament, coming on top twice over the 3 games. So I feel like Fnatic are going to have that confidence in the fact that they can actually beat them. They know they've done it before. That have looked over them games and thought, you know what, we've got to perform as well or even better than what we did
Mhm.
in those games. Basing off the fact that we've gone down in the laners, I do feel Fnatic overall have got the better composition of players in comparison to IG.
Right.
I feel like that will really show in the games in the play.
I could agree with that. I can agree with
I
that.
feel like the confidence in Fnatic, in the players again, is probably edging IGs. I know they've both come off very, very convincing wins, 3-0 in either games in the semi-finals.
Mhm.
So they're all going to be higher confidence. But I do feel like Fnatic will push through with that confidence, and it will show more clearly than IG.
Mhm.
It's going to be very, very important in the solo lanes, as you say. Like you said, you do edge both solo lanes going to IG, whereas I would say one's going to Fnatic in the mid lane of Caps, one's going to the Shy in the top lane of IG. But I do feel like that bot lane is also going to be a place where it's a make or break, win or die type situation.
Yeah.
I do feel like Reckless, along with Caps, is absolute genius. Caps wins lane, Reckless solid as ever, carries them through with the help from Broxer in jungle. I
Mhm.
feel like Fnatic will overall come out on top. Really good compositions throughout the whole series, and they will prevail 3-1 in the end.
Right. So I think again 3-1 to Fnatic, but I think it's going to be the first 2 games to Fnatic, the 3rd game to IG, the 4th game to Fnatic. I
Okay.
think that's because what we've seen is they like to switch it up in the jungle. So I think they're going to throw them off with like a Talia,
Okay.
something like that, a Talia Gragas, something they're not expecting. And I think every game is going to be based off of the jungle and mid lane priority.
Completely agree.
Completely off of how much jungle can help mid lane get that pushed in,
Yep.
get them fed, get it out there. So I think that one game where maybe Caps isn't expecting the mage to come out, or even like there's been a Kindred played something just a bit weird to come out there, and he's not quite. Obviously, the first 2 games you've played against like Zinzao, Lee Sin, Camille, you're not expecting a Talia wall to come behind you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's. I think it's definitely going to absolutely off the mid and jungle, and yeah, I think Fnatic are going to take that at the end.
Okay. Very, very interesting. I'm really stuck, honestly.
Here we go.
It's
There's always one.
I tell you what, this is going to be, I think, one of the best finals, because it is just it. I mean, for the first time in 3 years, also, can we just point out that it's not been a career on career final, so it isn't going to be one of those really long lasting, almost predictable, finals. Actually, going to be very, very close. even if it doesn't go 3-2, it feels like it could be anyone's game or series. I won't talk for too long as my throat is starting to dry up. But I do think that overall, I see Fnatic winning. I see Fnatic taking the victory and winning the finals. Though I will say, it comes down to one player in particular, and that's Broxah. I think Broxah being the best jungler in this Worlds tournament, I think it all comes down to him. And if anything does happen in terms of IG winning games, in terms of IG getting advantages, I think it comes down to Caps being over aggressive or making a mistake or something like that, in my opinion. And then Rookie's able to capitalize, along with Ning able to help Rookie carry himself there. And Deshai is just going to be able to obviously carry himself up anyway. So if anything does happen, I think it'll be Caps's. I don't want to say fault, but I think it'll be Caps's error. And I think Broxah is going to be the absolute kingpin for this Fnatic lineup. I think if IG takes a game off Fnatic, it's going to be because they've targeted Broxah, whether that be in draft or in game. I think they're really going to crush down on Broxah. And I feel like that's. I personally think if IG want to win, that's what they've got to do. I don't think they have a choice in that matter. Yep. I think that's just how they have to play around it. Because as I say, I personally believe that their solo laners are the only things actually carrying them through, with Ning and Bolan not being particularly solid. So I think Fnatic are going to win, and I would agree with Mason in that I do think it's going to be 3-1, but I do think that Fnatic are going to be 2 games ahead, and then and then IG are going to be able to pull something out to stop Broxah, but then there's going to be an ace up the sleeve in which Fnatic is prepared for.
Yes, that's pretty much
in the 4th game. Yeah. So all predictions are swaying towards Fnatic, but I wouldn't be upset if IG won. Also, that's the thing. I wouldn't be upset.
I'll be upset.
I'd be a little bit upset. Yeah.
I personally wouldn't be upset because it's still going to be great either way.
Either way, I'll be upset if it's a whitewash.
Yes. Yeah. I will be upset if it's.
I'd like to see at least both teams win one.
I would like to see both teams actually battling it out instead of just rolling over. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. So
makes for an interesting final.
It makes for a fantastic final, and it also hypes me up for when we are going to the cinema to go and see it on Saturday, which is going to be really, really cool. Not too happy about the time it's starting, but hey, we
ready. We in this.
Something we have to deal with. We've been prepping for days. We are sleep deprived because of trying to organise this. So it's going to be very good. Any final thoughts from you two?
Let's go reckless.
Let's just go Fnatic. Come on, let out the bag for us.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go EU. Pick me up.
The West versus the East.
You've not won it in 7 years. Let's bring it home, boys.
We can't win the war. Let's win this.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think either way. I think it's just going to be a fantastic final, and I really can't wait for it. I wish it was tonight. To be honest, I'm just that excited.
I'm so hyped. I'm
so excited for it. So that'll be us signing off. I've been PO2, and I've been very happy to be able to do this podcast with 2 of my close friends to really hype us up with the final. So if you guys want to sign off, then we can just call it at that.
Yeah, just I'm LIGO Gaming on YouTube, or you can actually look at our sort of a group YouTube of Trippy Space. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say. Yeah.
I've been Oliver. Actually, Ollie. in game on League. Hit me up. Yeah, it's been really, really fun to do this. So hyped for the final. Can't wait to find out what the result is and to see if Fnatic actually prevail. Yeah, realise that we're all wrong.
And all this is complete. We're going to have to delete the podcast.
It's all a ruse, boys. It's all a ruse. But yeah, thanks, honestly, for listening. You have.
Absolutely. We'll probably do maybe. That makes a lot of sense. We might do a podcast afterwards to tell you how our experience was and what we thought of the aftermath to see what happened.
I would absolutely say so.
We
need to.
That'll be fantastic. So yeah, thank you for listening. And we appreciate all of you. I'll see you later.